Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stinchfield. So we do not have a gun problem in America. We have a societal problem, okay? The Democrats don't want to talk about this. The bottom line is we are raising young killers. Many of them happen to actually be gangbangers. You know, 85% of all mass shootings in America are drug and gang related. The left won't tell you that. Look at the shootings over the weekend in Philadelphia and Chattanooga. They were not random attacks. Police in both cities say the gunfights broke out during a fight, most likely between street rivals, and yet the district attorney in Philadelphia had the audacity to tweet this. Quote, "Tell our Pennsylvania legislators it is time for real action. Boycott NRA lobbyists, boycott NRA donations, and bring real common sense gun regulation to Pennsylvania now." So here's a now for you. Now I want you to look at the videos from the scene. Late at night, outside a row of clubs, I would venture to say not one person in that crowd running from the gunfire is a member of the NRA. And I know the shooters responsible most certainly aren't either. But how many in that crowd you see there are criminals, set free thanks to a weak on crime DA Larry Krasner? I bet there's a few of them in there. While he plays politics and defames 5 million members of the NRA, Larry Krasner is literally responsible for the deaths of numerous Philadelphia crime victims, including 23-year-old veteran police officer James O'Connor, killed by a guy by the name of Hassan Elliott, cops say, a career felon, parole violator, and wanted murderer. Krasner set Elliott free after his arrest on an illegal gun charge. So he goes weak on illegal gun users, but wants to crack down on the NRA. You tell me what sense that makes. Well, cops later arrested Elliott on cocaine charges, a violation of his parole for that gun charge. So instead of locking that cat up, DA Krasner did nothing. He set Elliott free with no bail. Detectives say Elliott went on to murder another young man before gunning down Officer O'Connor. He should have been behind bars. Now look at the shooting in Chattanooga, Tennessee over the weekend. 3 dead, 11 injured by gunfire. Multiple shooters, no arrests. And while police are telling the public the shooting was not random, making it clear the bullets started flying over a battle between rival thugs, the mayor of Chattanooga still offers up this propaganda.
Chattanooga will treat this like the crisis that it is. I'm tired of standing in front of you talking about guns and bodies.
All right, well, I'm tired of talking about guns and bodies, too. Let's start talking about criminals. Go after them, Mr. Mayor. Go after them, Mr. District Attorney. Get tough on crime. And may I remind all of you out there watching, in both Philly and Chattanooga, handguns were used, not the all-vilified AR-15. Despite the fact that Chattanooga bar, right, that bar had a sign outside that said, "No guns allowed." The gun-free zone, not so gun-free, by the way. We had a picture of the sign. There's nonsensical gun laws. They never, ever work. Just look at California. In 2021, it had 6 public mass shootings where the killer wanted to kill as many random people as possible. Far different from the gang-related shootings we saw across the country this weekend. The 6 mass public shootings in California is the highest in the nation that year. And yet, California has universal background checks, magazine capacity restriction limits, waiting periods to buy guns, tough registration and licensing requirements, even red flag laws. The list goes on and on and on in California. And none of these unconstitutional anti-gun owner as well laws stopped any of California's 6 mass public shootings in 2021. Then today, I expect Democrats to be uninformed and unreasonable when it comes to gun laws. But when Republicans engage in spreading false anti-gun propaganda, I become outraged. Outgoing Senate Republican from Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey, goes to squishy Fox News to declare this.
I've long believed that we could expand background checks to include all commercial sales. So sales at gun shows, sales that are advertised over the internet, sales that are in a sense commercial in nature, and the seller doesn't know the buyer. A background check makes sense. They can be done very quickly.
This guy is out to lunch. Those things are already in law, and he should know that. You can't buy a gun online without a background check. The gun must be sent to a gun dealer where a background check occurs before the transfer happens. All so-called commercial sales that he's talking about require background checks already, as do 95% of gun show sales, because 95% of the people at the gun shows are dealers that must do background checks. Now, Republican Pat Toomey is either so uninformed about the law, or he knowingly pushes Democrat talking points on purpose. And may I remind you, I don't know any of these killers that bought their guns at gun shows. I don't. Either way, it makes Pat Toomey very dangerous, okay? And this is who Mitch McConnell wants negotiating with Democrats on gun control? My Lord.
I'll be voting no. I'm encouraging every single Republican in Washington, D.C., members of the House and members of the Senate, to vote no on all of this radical Democrat gun control that has no common sense, is completely useless, and is going to hurt Americans' right to bear arms. That's our responsibility as Republicans. Shame on Democrats for more failure in Washington, D.C.
And even more than that, shame on Republicans for following the Democrats' lead. Marjorie Taylor Greene is right there. That right there is more like it. That's the fight that I want to hear coming out of Washington Republicans. She's right. More legislation will not stop mass shootings. It will only make it harder for law-abiding citizens to keep themselves safe. And may I remind you this, the shooting in Philadelphia could have been far worse if it wasn't for a cop, a good guy with a gun who shot one of the attackers almost instantly once the shooting occurred. Once again, real solutions are not what Democrats are interested in.